Hey, thanks for tuning in for the few people that still view my channel. I got some pretty bad news that I'm not even sure if I should say this or not, but Michelle passed away um, a week ago. Not this last Tuesday, but the Tuesday before last. I'm pretty devastated about it. My family adored her. Um, yeah, I'm gonna let a few pictures roll by here. This is my backyard with the deer in the background. About a year and a half or 2 years ago. This picture is from my birthday. It's about the time that she started experiencing nausea. That's a Camaro. She really liked Camaros. She liked old cars, and she liked the RC cars. I think she got into them more than just for me. This is her cat, Sophie. Sophie, she called her Monster. Sophie's a really smart cat. She would get into the heating vents and go through the heating duct system in her house, so she had to screw all her heating vents down to the floor. Because Sophie here would disappear for a day and she'd be in the heating vents. And then she'd pop up in random rooms. Yeah, beautiful blue-eyed Sophie. Um, she had three cats. She had two llamas and two turtles. I forget her llama's names. Um, yeah, it's another llama of hers. They both are. She fed them alfalfa is what she mainly fed them. That's Pippi. Pippi was basically a bedroom cat. There was something wrong with her, maybe when she was born or what, some kind of brain thing. Uh, yeah. Sometimes she would just start going in circles and she couldn't stop. Pippi could also do handstands, but she was a super small cat, so she pretty much just stayed on the bed and in her bedroom. And then this is Duchess. Duchess has eye problems, and she has a story for each one of these cats how she got them. So, oh, yeah. So just bear with me. Bear with me, and let me take a few minutes to talk about her and some things. So last Tuesday, February 19th, is the day she passed away. She took the day off from work. She wasn't feeling good. And she lived around the corner from her parents' house. So she called her dad and asked her dad if he could come over and grab some Canada Dry out of her shed and bring it into her because she was in bed and she worked from home. She took the day off, and anyways, in between the time it took him to get over there and get in the house, um, she'd had a heart attack, and he found her laying next to the bed. Um, paramedics showed up. Paramedics showed up and revived her, but she was unconscious still, and basically she was brain dead. Um, so I don't know how long it took him to get over there because he could 5 minutes for a healthy person to walk over to her parents' house. So I'm assuming he kind of took his time. He didn't think it was an emergency or anything. She just wanted him to grab some Canadian Dry out of the shed. Anyways, I had sent her, we text messaged back. She lives an hour and a half north of me, so but we tried to see each other once a month. Um, but we text message each other daily, and I'd sent her a message Tuesday and didn't get a response, and Tuesday evening I sent her another message and said, "Is everything okay?" Still no response. Wednesday morning I sent her another message, still no response. Wednesday evening, I sent her another message, and I was getting ready to call her when her sister called and gave me the news. Her birthday is on February 27th, and she was supposed to come down here to my place, and we were going to celebrate her birthday. I don't know, didn't really have any plan what we were going to do yet. Maybe we would have ran RC cars or just hung out and then gone out for dinner or something. I don't know, but yeah, that was a huge hit. We're both the exact same age, born during the same year, 1966, and she'd be turning 60 on March 27th, and I'd be turning 60 on June 9th. Her family has no history of heart failures. They live long lives, both her mother's side and her father's side. Both her parents are still alive. My mom's still alive. She's in her 80s. But basically, about a year ago, a little bit before my birthday, the first picture, one of the first pictures of Michelle there in the beginning of this video was her just sitting at a table in a restaurant. That was a Mexican restaurant for my birthday. Shortly before that is when she started experiencing nausea. Now, when I told my sister about this, and my sister had no idea she had been experiencing nausea over the last year, she said, "Oh my God, that's the first signs of a heart problems, you know." Basically, this nausea got worse and worse over the last year, and I would grill Michelle, "Have you checked, everything? Have you checked? Are you sure you're not allergic to your cats? Have you checked your heating ducts? Make sure they're all cleaned up." Because it wasn't only nausea; it was also sinus problems. Just everything. She was going to the doctors, constantly going to the doctors. Doctors just couldn't figure it out. What was, it was to the point where she was throwing up. In fact, the last time when we went out and ran the 2 Armor Quakes, we pulled up to that spot, and she was out of my truck for about 5 minutes, and she was throwing up. So I don't think I realized just how bad it was, and she wasn't saying how bad it was, but evidently it had gotten pretty bad. And I talked to her sister over the phone, and I asked her, I said, "Do you think that the doctors gave her some news and she was withholding it from the family?" And she said, "Yeah, the rest of the family's thinking that too, because they're thinking that. It doesn't mean that's what happened, but." So I've kind of gone through the phase of just being angry about it, I'm fucking pissed. I think the doctors missed it. I think they dropped the ball on this, and yeah, it's just a shocker when someone just drops off the face of the earth like that. She was, outside of her nausea, she was pretty healthy. She lived a clean life. But since like 2022, she's kind of had some rough times. She had a hand operation because of her arthritis in her hand. Couldn't drive for like 3 or 4 months. I think it went into 4 months. She had to learn how to use her left hand. She works from home on the computer, and she's right-handed. And she, finally able to drive her Camaro, which is a stick shift. About a week later, she comes down to my place, and we head out to Lake Cushman and take the Defenders out, and out there running the Defenders around along the riverbank, and she trips and falls and breaks her arm on the same hand she had an operation on. 1 week into being able to drive her car. Off to the hospital I take her, and sure enough, it's a broken arm. Her Camaro's stuck down at my place. I'd had to drive her all the way home, and I stayed the night that night with her. But then her Camaro was stuck down at my place for about 2 weeks till I had my brother come down and pick it up and take it back to her place. But then she couldn't drive for another 3 months while her arm healed up. And then she started getting sinus problems. And those kind of progressed, and she went to the doctors because that. Couldn't figure out what was going on with that. Are you allergic to your cats? Did you clean your air ducts? Check for black mold. Just fucking everything. And that went on for about a year and a half, and then last year, a little bit before my birthday, she started telling me she's getting nausea. And I said, are you sure you're not pregnant and maybe you had a miscarriage and you just don't know? You know, I was once again going through everything. She had her big bottle of drinking water delivered to her house, and I'm like, are you sure that water's safe? You know, we got forever chemicals and plastics in waters now, and could be something about that. You know, I don't know if she ever checked that out, but you know, I was just going through everything with her and her doctor visits. And so for the last year, this nausea has been getting worse. And I don't think I or her family, um, we knew it was bad. You know, it had to be something that just freaking take the wind out of your sails. We didn't think it'd cause her to have a heart attack or die or anything. Anyways, one of her family members took in her cats. Her llamas are on the family farm. She also had two turtles. I guess I wasn't sure if I should make this video or not, but at the same time I didn't want to wait too long. Now I gotta decide if I want to actually publish it and share it, because you know, if you know, I haven't been making that many videos lately. I will still make videos, and she just won't be there. And so I'm sure someone's going to question it. Maybe they'll won't want to ask me, but you know, someone's going to question it. And yeah, she passed away, and I'm missing her, and I'm going to continue missing her. My family misses her. Her family misses her. Her parents, who lived right around the corner, had daily and weekly routines with her. You know, it was just her and her sister. She didn't have any brothers, and she had two nieces, and me, and her pets, and that was kind of her life. Anyways, Michelle was highly intelligent. She had no drama in her life. She just wanted to love and be loved. And my final words are, if you have a mate, or if you don't have a mate, you got family members, let them know you love them. Alright, RC for life, peace out, and I'll see you on the next video, whenever that is.